Looks good to me. We'll get you started in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Make sure, don't want anyone to miss you. Still have lots of folks streaming in, so I want to make sure we get them in here before we get you started. Um, but good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of the LD4 conference. I'm so happy to see you here, and I'm very excited for this talk from Doug, a Folio Quick Bite, the new linked data editor application in Folio. Doug joined EBSCO in 2023 to head up a project for adding support for linked data cataloging in Folio, and he's previously with OCLC, holding positions in product management and business development. He's based out of Columbus, Ohio. Doug, I'll give the floor to you.
Thank you, Sasha. It's great to kick off day 2 of the conference. I'm responsible for the rollout of oh, okay, I'll keep on going. I'm responsible for the rollout of the new linked data editor, and what I'm going to do this morning is give you a sneak peek about functionality that's coming to Folio. So the Folio linked data editor will allow staff to create, edit, and manage collections as linked data, and it will be integrated into the library's Folio operations. And because this is a lightning talk, I'm going to go straight into a live demo of the application and then call out key takeaways for this audience. The first of which is that the Folio linked data editor the beta is accessible to anyone from the Folio Sunflower Bugfest environment. We spin up Bugfest environments so that the Folio community can test new features and new applications to harden the code prior to a major release. Major releases are named after flowers, and the most recent is Sunflower from May of 2025. So I'm going to just copy and paste the URL. Sorry, one sec. Here. And the credentials are simply Folio to get in. And now we're in the Sunflower Bugfest You don't need to know anything about Folio in order to access or use the linked data editor. All you need to do is to go to the upper right, there's a drop down of applications in Folio. They're listed alphabetically, and just highlight linked data. And you'll notice that linked data editor is appended with beta. The reason for that is that we have some back-end work that we need to complete in order to properly support cataloging workflows. But as far as the look and feel of the application itself, we think we're in pretty good shape, which comes to our next takeaway, intuitive interface. When we approach this project, we're thinking about libraries who want to adopt linked data. Obviously, that's a formidable challenge for them. And so we invested in UX to figure out ways where we could make linked data principles self-evident to cataloging staff. And two of those concepts are around work and instance. And in a nutshell, the work is bib data about the story or the idea, and the instance is bib data about the publication itself. So I'm going to go back to the linked data environment, and I'm going to illustrate that in two ways. First, I'm going to do a title keyword search to illustrate our search result sets. And I'm going to actually scroll down here to make a point. We wanted to represent the hierarchical relationship between work and instance. And so the work is featured up front. The title, the creator, language, classification, those are bib elements that roll up to the work. And then we list as a table format all the instances that are associated with the work. In this case, these are different editions of the same work. And when we showed this prototype to our pilot libraries, one of the catalogers who didn't prior have experience with linked data commented that, oh, this is a massage for my brain. She was thankful to see and understand what we were trying to do here between, or showing the relationship between work and instance. I'm going to now move into edit mode, but I want to do another search on vocabulary so I can start with a simple search result, a work with a single instance. This is a Middle English Vocabulary by Tolkien. To get into edit mode, you can either select edit work or edit instance from the search result set. We're going to go into edit work. And what we've done is we've divided the screen between work and instance. Work is on the right side, and the metadata elements that roll up to work are in edit mode, whereas on the right side instance, those elements are displayed as read-only. And we provide the ability for the cataloger to toggle in between work and instance from this action dropdown. So if we select edit, now the instance elements are now displayed as editable, and on the work side, those elements are displayed as read-only. And the layout here, I think the intent was to address two things. One is we wanted to simplify navigation for catalogers, especially those who may not be familiar with the work and instance. By grouping it this way, we were trying to simplify how the catalogers could navigate within a bibliographic resource. Second is that this layout allowed us to get quite a bit of the bibliographic resource above the fold, if you will. So we're always looking for ways to make this display even more compacted so that we can limit the amount of scrolling that catalogers would have to do, which is disruptive. So we feel like we've made some progress on both those counts. Okay, so now we get to takeaway 3, integrated with Folio. So let me go back to the Sunflower environment. I'm going to exit from linked data, and I'm going to pull up the inventory app. Inventory is simply available by going to that apps drop-down list. The inventory application Folio is kind of its brains and its heart. It keeps track of everything that's in the library's collection as it's registered in inventory. The simplest way to see that is under the search limiters, just open up source, and you can see in this case that there are over 8 million records in this environment with source mark and almost 500 for linked data in addition to those other formats. So the point here is that within Folio, catalogers or the library staff can have mark-based cataloging side by side with linked data-based cataloging, and you can search all of it from one interface. So let's do that. Let's search for that last title that we saw in the linked data editor, and we're going to limit this to, so we have over 3,000, let's limit it to linked data. And now this is the same title that we saw in the application. Over on the right side, what you're seeing is the inventory instance record for this title. Inventory spins up kind of a generic or vanilla record for everything that's registered in inventory. So it doesn't matter what the source is for linked data or mark, what have you. Every of those records has a record like this. And this is where catalogers could do more work. So for example, if you wanted to edit this work, you could launch the linked data editor from here, and that would open up the linked data application again to that same record. Another thing that catalogers would do here is manage items and holdings, which they could access this way. The importance of that is that it doesn't matter what the underlying source is. Here it's linked data, it could be mark. It's the same workflow. So you do your descriptive cataloging in the linked data editor, then you come here to finish the items and holdings. It doesn't matter, it's the same workflow. One more thing that you can do is export instance. In this case, if you were to select that, it doesn't actually export the record itself. What it's doing is returning an identifier for that record. And what you would do with that identifier is you could go over to data export and retrieve it. I'm not going to go through the steps of doing it. I just want to show that midway through this log, we have Middle English vocabulary. I did this prior to the presentation. That's a mark record, and it's available, shown right here. So why do we do that? Well, it's clear that libraries will be mark-based shops for the foreseeable future, and typically what that includes is downstream applications that require mark. So the story here is that you can run your cataloging in the linked data editor, and you can provision that cataloging as mark records to feed those applications and support existing operations. Okay, so now the production release, takeaway 4.
Just a note, Doug, we're at 1 minute left.
Okay, so this is due in November, December of this year as part of Trillium, and that will include the ability to do descriptive cataloging of monographs, rare books, and serials. You'll be able to import or export records as MARC and as RDF. So if you have a BibFrame file, you can pull it into the application and you can provision it as BibFrame. The last thing is we'll be renaming this. Linked Data Editor was always provisional. We understand that there are other linked data editors out there, so we're going to give it a name that reflects its design and purpose. This is our linked data product team. Gloria Gonzalez oversees linked data initiatives at EBSCO. Alvaro is the product manager, and I'm the launch manager. We invite you to check out the linked data editor in Sunflower Bugfest. Feel free to ask us questions, or we welcome the feedback. So I'm at time. I hope you enjoyed this and hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.